Hey guys, welcome back to Spooky Witches UK. Today I'm talking about my experiences that I've had paranormal wise whilst doing my makeup. So it is about 1:45 right now, so I've got to be really quiet when I'm doing this because my little boy's asleep next door. So my love for the paranormal started when I was about, I'm gonna go about 14, something like that. I used to watch Most Haunted all the time with my mum and things like that, and we'd get like proper into it. And it just stemmed from there really. But yeah, my first proper experience was when I lived in Coppell. I was coming over a bridge and I swear to God, I saw somebody jump off it, but there was nobody there. That kind of freaked me out a little bit. However, experiences wise, I don't really see things or hear things. I'm more of an empath. I feel things, and I have a friend who is a sensitive. She can pick up on spirits, and it's something that I do talk to her about a lot. But my first proper experience was actually about a year ago. After that one in Coppell, my first personal experience was, actually it was when we lived in Coppell. We used to live in a house that belonged to, I want to say it was the miners, could have been the millers. Very old house, and there was several strange things going on there. Like, we would hear noises for no apparent reason. I thought I saw somebody looking around a bedroom door at me once. Quite scary. But it's only made me progress my love for the paranormal that little bit more. So the time that I thought I saw somebody looking around the door, now where we used to live, sorry, I've got to check in the mirror and all. Where we used to live, like, you'd walk in through the front door, you'd have this tiny, tiny square for a hallway, and then it would lead you straight into the living room. Now, it was always a strange feeling. Like, you were never really alone. And I'd gone into the bedroom one day and turned around to leave, and I swear I saw a girl looking around the door frame at me. Sorry, I thought one of the dogs had just come upstairs. And from that day, I could never be alone in the house. It terrified me. Like, absolutely terrified me. I was always paranoid about being alone in that house after that. My mum didn't like being in the house alone after that. We were all sat downstairs once and we heard somebody whistle, like they would whistle a dog. Like, quite scary, but quite interesting at the same time. My brother heard somebody laughing. When him and his friend were about to go into the back garden, they heard somebody laughing. a gentleman, I think it was, if I remember correctly. So that was it was a scary place to live. We moved out of there, moved into a new home, and we lived in front of a wooded area. It's in this very pretty little village, and we wouldn't go in them woods at night. They were kind of freaky. In fact, stuff being kind of freaky, they were very freaky. Still are to this day. I don't like being near them at night. They do scare me a little bit. And then after that, we never really got anything as such. I then moved into where I'm currently at, and again didn't really get much. Got a few feelings. That's when I started to really notice that I could feel things that other people wouldn't normally feel. And then I went on a paranormal investigation, my first one, a year ago, and it was good. It was interesting, to say the least. We had many things happen to us whilst we were there. We were down. It was in a local, I want to say like little shopping centre. It's more for antiques and old things like that. I enjoy shopping there. It's a lovely place to go shopping. But my first experience was we were down on what they like to call the street, and it's like a little cobblestone area that goes through. And take this flat brush and put some highlight in the corner. And we were down there and everything was fine. It was a bit scary because obviously we were in pitch black. And then we were going to go into this room that's just off the street. And I suddenly felt like I was being suffocated. And it turns out that I didn't know at the time that obviously very many years ago there was a fire in that room. And that's most likely what I was feeling, which is kind of scary if you think about it. Like, nobody really wants to feel what somebody else felt when they died. It's not always an intense feeling. Sometimes it's a very soft feeling. Oh, I think I've just messed this up. But yeah, so we were in this one particular room, and obviously I was feeling like I was being suffocated. So I ended up having to leave. And then we went down to another area of the building. and nothing major happened. Amelia, as you will know, she's been on my channel before. She sat in a chair and she just had this sudden urge that she needed to get out of it. Now at this point, I may add that it is very dusty in this place and I am asthmatic. So that could also be why I couldn't breathe. Because trust me, of all the things I could suck at, I suck at breathing. But she came back up with me. And she was saying that she was feeling very uncomfortable. So just before we came back up, there was a very loud bang that was on a drum just above, because my mum was stood at the opposite end of the room from us. It was just above my mum's head. And it was a big almighty bang on this drum. And you could tell it was a drum because it was a very distinct sound. However, this drum hangs from the ceiling, so there ain't no way anybody could have touched it. It's kind of what's freaky about it. Do you know, I didn't set under my eyes. So that was the first time we went, and then the second time we went, I went with my mum again, one of her friends, and Jamie, who's also been on the channel before. And again, we didn't get masses. Oh dear. I'm trying to think of what it was we caught. So my mum and Jamie went off on a lone vigil on their own for the last part of it, really. And just before they went off on their own, we were down in the World War II museum that they've got down there. And they have like a little makeshift air raid shelter. And my mum and Jamie were sat in there, and I was outside of it with my mum's friend. Because I'm claustrophobic and tight spaces make me paranoid. Cause anxiety attacks and all sorts, it's not nice. And all of a sudden, they just started giggling. And my mum thought she could smell Entonox gas, which is laughing gas. Gas and they used to use it back then because there was no general anaesthetics. Or they were very scarce, especially out in battle, if we will. So they were smelling that. But obviously it makes you laugh. So they were having a right good giggle in this air raid shelter. But I'd seen a man standing behind one of the ladies. And when I blinked, he'd moved. to behind a gentleman that was stood in front of me. So that panicked me slightly, but other than that, there wasn't much. My mum's friend had seen a lady down in one of the other rooms, but that was about it. Then we went again, literally about 2 months ago, and I'd seen a child, or what looked like a child, down in the same room that my mum's friend had seen this lady. Are they connected? I'm unsure. But it's no secret that children used to work in factories and such. Obviously, because they could get into machines and all that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, children were primed for it because they were small. They could get in and out, but unfortunately this also led to a lot of accidents. So that could be why there's spirits of children there. But I was being followed around the place because everybody was wearing masks, and at the time my asthma was quite bad and I couldn't really breathe normally anyway. I do wear a mask all the time now. I've never not worn a mask. But I was being followed around, and that kind of pushed me to do what I'm doing now, like making videos about the paranormal and things like that, because it's a very interesting subject. However, obviously my first investigation, as you all know, was at the Bay Horse Inn. It's absolutely lovely pub, and if you ever get a chance to visit, you definitely should. Amelia, a few weeks ago, had an incident where, I think I've spoken about this already, where she was doing fridge list and was restocking the fridge behind the bar, and she was listening to WAP by Cardi B, and she heard this almighty bang from the fire room that was next to her. She panicked a little bit, and then the day after she went back into work in the morning and she kept thinking she was seeing things in her peripheral vision. So, I mean, things have definitely amped up since I've been there. I am allowed to go in again, but unfortunately we are currently in a tier 3 lockdown, so it's gonna have to wait until we're out of that, otherwise I can't do it. I've got another place lined up for us to go and investigate, and I'm also going to do a video introducing you to my core team when I'm able to. Again, obviously, because we're in tier 3, we're not actually allowed to socialise with other households. So, as soon as we can do that, then that's going to be done. I'm going to get, I'm thinking of getting some hoodies made. Also, if you would like a mask, let me know and I can get one ordered for you. Because they do come out and they are amazing quality when they come out. So, definitely get your orders in. But other than that, I hope you have had a great day. This is the finished look. Pretty simple, especially for nearly midnight. But I hope you've had a good day, and I hope to see you again soon. Stay spooky, witches. Bye.